20 fascinating facts about Vietnam. Imagine a country shaped like a dragon, draped in emerald mountains, where coffee is brewed with condensed milk and eggs, where ancient emperors sleep beneath moss-covered tombs, and where tunnels run for miles beneath the ground. A land where water puppets dance across the stage, and where a war once defined global headlines, but could never define the soul of the people. Welcome to Vietnam, a country full of contradictions, complexity, and stories you never knew you needed to hear. Today we're diving into 20 fascinating facts about Vietnam, facts that go far beyond the textbooks, into the heart of a nation that has survived dynasties, colonization, war, and rapid transformation, yet somehow still clings to its ancient rhythm like a melody only it knows. Welcome to True History in Minutes, where everyday objects reveal their hidden past. Wait till the end to learn a fascinating fact about puppets that dance on water. Let's begin in Hanoi, Vietnam's capital. The city itself is over 1,000 years old, older than most nations on Earth. But what's most captivating isn't just its age. It's the fact that Hanoi's streets are a living maze, named after the tradespeople who once lived there. Need silver jewelry? Head to Hang Back, Silver Street. Looking for bamboo goods? Try Hang Tray, Bamboo Street. In the old quarter, the past isn't behind you. It's under your feet, it's in the street signs, and it's probably still cooking in a wok right around the corner. And that brings us to food, which, in Vietnam, is never just food. It's identity, it's geography, it's war and peace on a plate. Take pho, the country's most famous dish. You've probably had it. Beef broth, rice noodles, herbs. But did you know pho was born during French colonial rule? The word pho may even come from the French dish pot au feu. And yes, the Vietnamese made it their own, transforming colonial leftovers into national treasure. Speaking of treasure, Vietnam is the second largest exporter of coffee in the world, just behind Brazil. But unlike anywhere else, Vietnam took coffee and reinvented it. Locals mix it with condensed milk or even eggs, whipped into a creamy foam. It sounds strange. It tastes divine. This isn't Starbucks. It's sidewalk stools, tiny glasses, and slow sips as motorbikes buzz by in every direction. And motorbikes, that's another story. There are over 45 million motorbikes in Vietnam. In Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, they outnumber cars by 10 to 1. Families of 5 ride one bike. Furniture is moved on them. Chickens, pigs, even refrigerators. Crossing the street in Vietnam is not an act of walking, it's an act of faith. You walk slowly, you don't stop, and the motorbikes flow around you like water around a rock. Now, imagine standing on a white sand beach, looking out at crystal clear water. You're in Vietnam. Surprised? Many people don't realize Vietnam has over 2,000 miles of coastline, with beaches that rival any in Southeast Asia. From the resort town of Nha Trang to the quiet beauty of Phu Quoc Island. And just off the coast lies something otherworldly. Ha Long Bay, with its 1,600 limestone islands rising like dragons' teeth from the water. Legend says they were created by dragons sent to protect Vietnam from invaders. Science says erosion. The locals still say dragons. But Vietnam's landscapes are more than just postcard perfect. Deep in the jungle, you'll find Sun Dung Cave, the largest cave in the world. Big enough to fit an entire New York City block, including skyscrapers. It has its own weather system, river, and ecosystem, and it was only discovered in the 1990s and explored fully in 2009. That's not a typo. In a world mapped by satellites, Vietnam still has secrets the Earth is keeping. Of course, no story of Vietnam can avoid its wars. But what if we told you the country has fought off not 1, not 2, but 3 of the world's major empires? The Chinese ruled for over 1,000 years, until the Trung sisters, warrior queens riding elephants, led a rebellion in the year 40 AD. They are still national heroes. Centuries later, the French took over, sparking the First Indochina War. Then came the Americans, and with them the Vietnam War, or as it's called here, that's one of the most fascinating facts. History changes depending on who's telling it. In Vietnam, war is not the defining narrative. It's just one chapter. What matters more is resilience, rebirth, regrowth. And part of that rebirth lies underground, literally. The Cu Chi tunnels, just outside Ho Chi Minh City, form a massive underground network used during the war. Some tunnels are only a foot wide and 3 feet high, with multiple levels. Soldiers lived, cooked, and fought beneath the surface. Today, tourists crawl through sanitized versions. But back then, it was life or death, in the dark, in the dirt, surviving in a war with no clear lines. Let's resurface to a country that's now one of the fastest-growing economies in Southeast Asia. Skyscrapers rise in Saigon. Tech startups flourish. But even amid the modern, the old still holds strong. Visit Hoi An, a perfectly preserved ancient town lit by lanterns, where tailors sew suits in a day, and where every building seems to whisper its own story. And here's a charming twist. In Vietnam, birthdays aren't as big of a deal as Tet, the Lunar New Year. That's when the entire country shuts down. Everyone goes home. Children receive red envelopes. Ancestors are honored. Debts are paid. It's not just a celebration. It's a reset. Now for something unexpectedly heartwarming. In Vietnamese culture, teachers are revered. There's even a national holiday called Vietnamese Teachers' Day, where students visit their former teachers with gifts and flowers, even years after graduating. It's a culture that honors education deeply, not just with words, but with action. Language, too, holds its surprises. Vietnamese is a tonal language with 6 different tones. That means one word can have 6 completely different meanings depending on how you say it. The word ma, for example, can mean ghost, mother, rice seedling, grave, horse, or scold. So yes, pronunciation really matters. Here's one you definitely didn't expect. Vietnam is home to one of the oldest universities in the world, the Temple of Literature, built in 1070 in Hanoi. It was originally dedicated to Confucius and later became a royal academy. Today, it stands as a monument to the country's deep scholarly roots. And now, a quick detour into the bazaar. There's a train that runs through a narrow alley in Hanoi, with homes and cafes just inches away. Locals casually pull in their chairs and laundry when the train rumbles by. Moments later, life resumes like nothing happened. Tourists call it crazy. The locals? Just Tuesday. Let's end with something magical: water puppetry, an ancient Vietnamese art form dating back to the 11th century, where puppets dance on water, controlled by rods hidden beneath the surface. It began in flooded rice fields as a form of entertainment and storytelling. Today, it's still performed, centuries later, with dragons, princesses, and warriors dancing across the water like living folklore. So there you have it, a country of emperors and dragons, of scooters and street food, of ancient wisdom and modern ambition. Vietnam is not a country you can define in a single sentence. It's a living paradox, where history lingers in the air, but tomorrow races ahead. A place where the past isn't forgotten. It's worn proudly, like a conical hat under the midday sun. Thanks for watching. If Vietnam surprised you today, leave a comment with the fact that blew your mind the most. Hit like to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories from around the world, told the way history should be: vivid, human, and unforgettable. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next episode, where we explore 20 fascinating facts about Cambodia.